Before we even start this video, I'm not making no teeth jokes, all right? It's played out, it's corny, and it's just like Sha Gz has a chip on his shoulder. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like all the times y'all always saying stuff to him, he's always brushing it off. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm sure his heart probably has a cavity from all the roasts you guys are sending his way, all types of things like that. It's just like the jokes are honestly decaying in his mind, man, and he just really needs to get it fixed, feel me? So here on out, from the deepest of my core, out of the tips of my teeth, no tooth jokes this video, right? Yeah. What's going on, class? It's Maalito the Joke Professor, and I am back again with yet another lecture video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to make beats for the man himself, Sha Gz. Sha Gz, aka his real name, Shaheem Not. And I actually found his real name, so I can't really troll with this one. I'm kind of upset, but it's cool. Sha Gz was apparently born on January 4th, 2005, making him 18 years old. It's really crazy to step back and see that most of these dudes that I'm making videos on are the same age as me. It's a little mind-boggling, but you know what I'm saying? These teenagers are putting on for the city, and they're going crazy. As far as notability goes, y'all already know Sha Gz, top song, new op. He's kicking strollers and he's making fun of Dougie, shaking his shoulder and whatnot. He's gonna have about 5.7 million views on that video, along with a couple more M's on TMS Part 3, Rosa, and Papa Perry. Sha Gz has actually had a pretty consistent sound for like a long time, I'm not gonna lie. Like most of his songs, he kind of carries the same aggressive drill vibe, just kind of going in as soon as the beat starts. And it's really hard to see some consistency in these drill rappers nowadays, man. It's like not the right beat. God knows what that can lead to. When it comes to Sha Gz beats, bro, I can't even concentrate. This picture is so stupid. Sha Gz trying to be Duke Dennis. Anyway, bro, moving on. When it comes to his beat selection, Sha Gz is going to be utilizing those dark piano New York drill beats. Most likely going to have a gross beat effect on it, whether it's a scratch or a tape stop. 808 slides are minimal and probably going to appear only at the end of the 8 bars or throughout the beat. Just very minimal 808 slides. It's not going to be a whole lot of crazy stuff like the old Pop Smoke beats and the 808 mellow Axel vibes. Nah, we keeping the 808 slides very minimal here. The BPM honestly is going to vary. He kind of brings the energy no matter from, I've heard songs from Sha Gz from the 140 range all the way up to like 158, and they usually carry the same energy. It just sounds a little bit different. As for the percussion and whatnot, it's going to be a little bit unconventional from normal drill. Like I said before, it's kind of just a new approach on the aggressive New York drill beat, and we have a pioneering brother to thank for this, and that is going to be the homie Gore 888. From what I've seen, right? So if you've seen somebody do this before in the comment section, let me know. But from what I've seen, when it came to African Demons Part 2, every time after that, it's like I'm seeing Sha Gz use these type of beats, Use hopping on more stuff like that, Kenzo Balla hopping on more stuff like that, Bloody hopping on more stuff like that. It's like, it's just been time after time, I'm just hearing this new wave of just the stuff that you would hear Gore make. That's the type of vibe that we're going to be shooting for with this tutorial. That's going to be unveiling the secrets on how this bounce is kind of made and the steps that you have to take to make your beats sound just like something that Sha Gz would hop on. And without further delay, we're going to hop into this cook-up. Now, to keep the authenticity of this tutorial to A1 standards, I reached out to the homie Gore beforehand to get this loop straight from him. Now, as you guys can probably tell, that is just raw and uncut halftime New York drill piano. I'll be showing you guys the percussion to be laid on top of that to make this beat feel complete. Starting off with these hi-hats, it's just a normal New York drill pattern, but I added some stutters and some additional notes. Now, the thing that you want to pay attention when it comes to your hi-hats in order to make your kicks hit harder, I'm going to skip a few steps here, but this is an important note. So you want to make sure that every single time your kick is hitting, your hi-hats are playing. So for instance, what I recommend you guys do is you copy and paste over your kick pattern to the same piano roll as your hi-hats, put them up a little bit, and then compare the notes to make sure that each time they're hitting. So this note has a hi-hat playing at the same time, so does this one, so does this one, so does this one, so does this one, and so do these over here. So you want to make sure every single time your kick is playing, a hi-hat is playing. That is going to make sure that your kicks are hitting with the low and high frequencies and it's keeping it crispy. So that's the reason why you may see some rolls throughout here. That might just be because I added an additional kick and it needed a hat to go right there. With that being said, this is what it sounds like. There's also going to be some differences in the snare. Now, if you guys aren't aware, the conventional UK drill snare, one of the notes goes right here and the other one of the notes goes right here. So it will basically skip this next part. Like, let's say for instance you're doing trap, the clap will hit in the middle of each bar basically. For UK drill, it skips the middle and goes over to the next one. I don't really know time names for this, so I don't want to mess anything up, so I'm just going to say this. I'm going to use these lines right here, right? It'll go over to this note and then it will play back to this note in the next part. But for these, we kind of ignore the conventional UK stuff and just go with the regular trap clap slash snare pattern. And then at the end, what we'll do is we'll add one right here and then another one right before the 4 bars ends. So it'll sound something like this. I've also added some variation towards the end of the 8 bars that I've heard in some of the beats that Sha Gz uses. It kind of sounds something like this. And like, there's no shame in copying this exact pattern and using it in one of your beats. Like, come on, fam. In addition to that percussion, I also added this open hat. This just hits every 2 bars just for some added high frequency when the kick plays. Simple stuff. Moving on to the kick pattern. These kicks, I just turn the velocity all the way up and pitch them down about 1 semitone. What adds to this type of bounce is that the kicks will be pretty spread out. You don't have to have them playing all the time like a Nas EBK type beat, like these UK drill beats out here. It's going to be really spacious. Additional perks are going to include this perk slash bongo rim thing that Gore always uses. I don't know if that's the exact pattern he uses, but I kind of just made it my own. And then this triangle sign that's pretty standard in most New York drill beats. So what I really like to do when I have certain perks that I want to play only at a specific section of the beat is I'll do this echo effect. So I'll do the regular pattern coming right here, and then I will kind of just space them out each time while also turning the velocity down. So it makes like an echo effect without actually adding delay. You can also do this with 808s and other stuff like that to really spice up your beats and add some variation. Now time for everybody's favorite part, the 808 pattern. I believe I've got like 3 or 4 of these different ones, so I'm just going to show you guys the differences. So this is the first one. Now I'm about to unveil the secret to 808 slides, right? To make an 808 slide, right, conventional, let's say we have our notes right here that play dun 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 dun, whatever, right? Now in order to make the slide sound the best is we have to first off take the slide notes that are above the regular notes already, and we have to shorten them to about half of the bottom note length. So you see how this is stretching out. This looks like what, about half a bar? You want to make this like a quarter of a bar, so half of what is actually the thing. Let's say for instance I shorten them, right, like to be all the way short. This is what I used to do a long time ago. Big mistake. You see how it kind of sounds a little weird? It's too much high points like in the beat. It's just going on for a little too long, right? All right, that's the first step. Now the second step is we make sure that obviously the note that it's sliding from is obviously, it has to be in key. It has to be, that's non-negotiable, right? And then now what we're gonna do is we're going to take the bottom notes and we're going to pitch them down 2 octaves. So if it was at C sharp 5 up here, you take it down to C sharp 3, and then you turn the velocity of the slide notes up and the velocity of the bottom notes up as well. And then your final product will be this. That's how you make your slide notes sound good. Keep your slide notes in key before I show up to your house and boom. All right, continuing on with the rest of the 808 patterns, I also added this slide echo effect. And these are how these other slides sound. Now I added this little part right here. I got this idea from Use G's PSA, the beat. I think Dutchie produced it. Yeah, I got this little idea. It's kind of a 5-bar bridge right before like the actual bridge itself starts. So what will basically happen is the 808 will be coming down in the scale. It'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. And then you'll get slide notes at the end. Also, there is a brass doing the exact same thing. So it sounds like this. I don't know if he actually used the brass in PSA, but that's kind of how I do it. So it'll basically just be like a little stutter build-up effect. And then at the end, it'll be slides leading into the bridge. So this is what I got from it. This is what it sounds like. A nice little pre-bridge, you know, change up, switch up. So that's kind of the difference that I did in there. Shout out Dutchy, because that's a fire idea, I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to effects, I'm keeping it simple with the normal, you know what I'm saying, riser and gunshot combo. This is standard. You guys should already know about this. Now we can move on to the mixing. Master track is gonna get my signature master preset that I spent 7 years in producer school learning, default soft clipper, and absolutely nothing else. The piano was gonna get turned up a little bit, and then I cut out some of the lows just to make sure it's not clashing with the 808. I did a stereo swap on the 808 and added some separation, about 31%, as well as boosting some low mid frequencies with Fruity EQ. The hats were gonna get some pancake and wider. Wider is just a stereo separation plug, and then I was gonna put some pancake on it just to have the hi-hats pan and have a more immersive feel when the listener is listening with both headphones. The snare I turned up a little bit in volume. Kick was also gonna get turned up in volume, as well as thrown in mono. Perk got turned down just a little bit. Triangle got turned up a little bit along with the open hat, and then everything else is gonna stay the same. Brass hit's gonna get turned down a little bit, and I EQ'd out the lows out of that so it wasn't clashing with the 808. Simple stuff, simple stuff. Don't overcomplicate these types of beats. Don't overcomplicate any type of beats, because you know for sure the drill professor gonna break it down nice, simple, and easy for you. Like a toddler could understand this. Come on, bro. Like if you're not having a son right now and putting him in front of the TV and making him listen to the drill professor tutorial so he could become a music prodigy at 5 years old, what are you doing? You losing me, bro. Word to everything. Now that's gonna be about it for this beat. I slapped both of our beat tags on this, and then that's the final product. So I'm gonna let you guys hear it, and you let me know how it sounds in the comment section below.
All right, Professor, I'll see you then. See you then.
More on the track, bitch.
Once again, I appreciate you guys for all the love and support you've been showing me recently. Beat grading video is coming very soon, so I will not delay on that. If there's anything else you guys want me to cover, well, come on, let me know. Like, really come and tell me what you want me to cover, because I'll really cover anything, because I learned genres just like that. You already know how my body is. Make sure y'all checking out all my socials in the link description, checking out my Type B channel and whatnot, and staying tuned for future lecture videos in the future. And with that being said, class is dismissed.